So Becky and I would like to welcome you all to
welcome everybody.
September
So good to
2nd
see you
Rotary.
guys. Oh hey, we're started, you guys. We've started.
Well, I don't think you realize they can see your legs on this.
What?
Oh no, this is a Zoom call.
Yeah,
they said
it's Zoom.
it's a Zoom call, right, Tina?
Well,
You said it was a Zoom call.
Ah,
What?
They haven't. They don't show up.
Linda?
I can't believe this. You guys, you had your pajamas on.
They said it's a Zoom call. This is how we do our Rotary meetings.
Every Rotary meeting.
This is how we've always done it. We've always done a Zoom call.
Why are we changing now?
Why would we change now? Why change a good thing? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Fine. You just come in and change everything, don't you, Paul?
Wow, that was quick. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. Today is September 2nd, 2020, which makes it World Coconut Day. Coconuts provide food, drink, and building materials. Today is a historic Rotary Club of Tulsa meeting. Normally, we end the year with a roast of the outgoing president who shares highlights of the past year, and then we enjoy video of those highlights. Then the next week, the first week of the Rotary year, we toast the incoming president, who then shares his or her thoughts of what the new year will be like. 2 meetings over 2 weeks. This year, we've not only combined the 2 meetings into one, but we are sharing it on Zoom. You will be able to tell your grandchildren that, yes, indeed, you were at that Rotary meeting. Welcome. I now want to reflect on last year. 2019 and 2020 was an exciting, rewarding, and challenging Rotary year. And aren't we fortunate to have had the calm, innovative, and highly respected Becky Fields leading our club. Right out of the chute, Becky challenged us to be agents of change. Little did she know, or did she, what changes would be thrust upon us due to COVID-19. Becky challenged and motivated us to ask ourselves, how can we be a better us? The year started off with a bang. Rhythm and Brews at the Gathering Place. What a fantastic event, particularly for a first-year event. The talk of the town. And then an off-site meeting at Skyway, which we got to share with our friends at Sealy Clinton. And then speakers, Congressman Hearn, Governor Stitt, Senator Langford, former Tulsa Mayor Susan Savage, Webco Industries CEO Dana Weber, and of course, the infamous Linda Goldner. Then came the pandemic and the sudden challenges of not being able to meet every Wednesday at Thomas Hall as we have for decades. Becky immediately canvassed ideas and developed a plan to allow us to stay in touch with each other via Coffee with the Crew on Tuesday mornings. We had motivational speakers from around the country and got to visit with each other during breakout sessions. What a genius plan. Becky, I cannot think of a better leader for our club through these times. Thank you for your efforts and for keeping us all together. And speaking of thank yous, I'd like to thank several folks who, through their hard work and behind-the-scenes dedication, played a major role in making 2019 and 2020 a successful year. I'd like to thank our board of directors, the committee chairs, all of those who served on committees, long-range planning, the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation trustees, and then, of course, Tina and Tommy Lynn, who, as always, weather the storm, keep everything going, behind the scenes, just magnificently. Thanks to both of you. I know this was a very challenging year. I now would like to invite to the podium to share her thoughts and reflections on a great 2019-2020 President Becky Fields.
Thank you, Mike. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve with you this year, and I wouldn't have wanted to have anyone else by my side. It's been a great time, and that's one of the sad things about leaving a year like this is the friendships and the bonds that you make during years like this, and the closeness and the time that you get to spend together. But it's all those memories that, as I walked into this room, I kind of got sad for a minute, and I was looking around and just a little, bittersweet and melancholy as I looked around, and I thought, gosh, it's not Rotary anymore. You see we're in an empty room right now, and we're talking to you, thank goodness, via Zoom, but you couldn't be here with us today, and it makes me sad. But it also makes me think that Rotary is not a place, and Rotary is not a club. Rotary is not an organization, but Rotary is you. Every single one of you who come in these doors every single week, you are Rotary. We say we're Rotarians, but we are Rotary. We are the ones that carry the torch no matter where we are, whether it's right here in Thomas Hall, which we'll meet again sometime. And so I hate to be too sad about it, because I know that you're each in your living rooms or your offices, or some of you are on beaches, it looks like, according to your Zoom backgrounds. I don't know if you are or not, but it makes me jealous even when I see it. But I just know that we're going to meet again, but the thing is that we're all still doing good in the world from wherever we are, even if we're not meeting. So at the end of every calendar year, you know me, I'm a big goal setter, and I love to look back and see what we've accomplished in a year. And so I have this little thing that I've done for probably 8 to 10 years now, where I sit down at the end of the year and I run through a list of questions just to kind of prompt myself. One, being kind of an achiever mindset, I'm always looking towards the next year and to the next goals. And so I found myself often not satisfied because I didn't look back and be grateful for things that I had accomplished that year. And so I just thought I want to kind of run through that as I was sitting here even preparing today and sitting here to talk to you guys today. I just thought I want to go through some of the questions that I normally go through in my calendar year. And I won't go through all of them because I just have so many going through in my mind, but some of the highlights of it. I always just ask myself, what did we do this year that we're really proud of, that I look back and say I'm really proud of? So one of those things, of course, has to be launching a brand new event in an uncertain time, when we've loved the event that we've had and didn't know if it was going to be successful or not. So stepping out and trying something new is always scary, and we did that. And then also stepping in and immediately being able to give to the COVID Relief Fund in Tulsa whenever there was a need in Tulsa. It wasn't a question. The board didn't vacillate. It was just a yes, we need to help Tulsa. And the fact that we could do that is so amazing because of your generosity through the years and giving and giving and giving the way you had, that we were already in a position to give. So those are some of my fondest memories. And then, or some of my things I'm really proud of. But then I also like to go back and just kind of reminisce a little bit on some of my fondest memories. And again, I'm not going to go on and on and on because this is not just my day. It's excitingly, it's also President Paul's Day. So I just want to talk about a few things. So one thing that one of my fondest memories is working on the Rotarian grants that we got to do with Norm Simon. That was so much fun. I just loved getting to talk to him and getting to know him better and knowing his expertise, and Tom Allen and his expertise in COVID and how he helped our leadership team in making decisions along the way. Just the wealth of knowledge that we have in our club is astounding. Also, stuffing envelopes. I just remember that. Stuffing envelopes for Rhythm and Brews about up to midnight, I think. Tina and Tommy Lynn. So Tina, Tommy Lynn, Monica, Debbie Stumps, and Karen McCannell and myself. Giggling and who knows what. I don't even think we had wine with us, if I remember correctly. It was just we were having a good time. We were getting ready for the event. Just working together on something that we were all passionate about. I also loved working on the programs with Chuck and Regina and Lane and their team. You know, week in and week out, they just kept bringing the heat over and over again, and it was just so fun to see what they were going to do next. And then also, I just love attending all the social events with Lynette and Barbara Kogerman and Colonel Kogerman and John Croissant and so many people that just showed up for the social events that just had so much fun. I could go on and on about fondest memories, but I also want to talk about mentors who impacted me. You see, I do that every year just to think, you know, who am I allowing in my life? Who am I allowing to speak into my life? And make sure that things are going in the direction that I want. So, goodness, I was crowded with ideas for mentors that impacted me over the past year. Past President John Raines, past President Mike Homan, past President Hannibal Johnson, past President Linda Bradshaw, Kip Lycum, who would have these social events for me and host them at his home or Southern Hills so we could meet with other people that we were trying to recruit into the club. Keith Bailey, who was an endless source of ideas and inspiration for us. Scott Philstrip, who would meet with me on a moment's notice to discuss foundation issues and questions that I had. The mentors in this club go on and are available to us at a moment's notice. It's absolutely amazing. And then finally, I like to look at what are my goals for next year, but most importantly, not what are the goals, but what kind of person do I need to become in order to achieve those goals. So that's the last thing I want to leave you with on my thoughts, and that is, what do we need to become and who do we need to be as a club during this time so we can achieve and even more than we ever imagined, even more during these unprecedented times. And so some of the things off the top of my mind, I thought of, you know, we need to continue to be connectors. We need to be gracious community members that bind together with peace and harmony and love. We need to be flexible, obviously. Hello, Zoom. And we need to be innovative. And lastly, of course, you know I have to say, we need to be agents of change no matter where we are, whether we're at home or whether we're in our home office or whether we're at work or whether we're an essential worker, whatever we're doing right now during this time, because you are Rotary and you are the ones that are making the difference in the world and you are agents of change. And I also want to take this time, I would be remiss to thank the people that helped me just beyond measure this year. And that is, of course, Tina. People don't know, you couldn't even do this job. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Tina right here because she's so amazing. Week in and week out, she just performs. We're so lucky to have you, Tina. And we couldn't ask for anything more in an executive director, and I'm so appreciative of all the things you do behind the scenes to make all of this go well. And people would compliment me on like a great program. I'm like, it's Tina. The executive producer just pulls it all together, and then we stand in front, but you're the one behind the scenes really running and charging ahead and making this the club that it is. And I just appreciate you so much. And then also our chairman of the board, past President Mike Homan, I appreciate you so much and the mentorship that you've given me over this year, and then also just for asking me to step forward when you did. I would have never done it without you, so I appreciate you. And also, of course, I want to thank the board and all of the committee chairs. It has just been such an honor to work with all of you this year. Words can't express. You and I know what all the work that you put in this year, each and every one of you, and I'm so appreciative of everything that you've accomplished this year. And one final thanks, I want to thank my Rotarian of the Year, the person that I just feel, all Rotarians do amazing things, and we all have years that we do certain things in different areas, and some are in front of the scenes and some are behind the scenes. And this person was certainly in front of the scenes this year, and that is Monica Martin. Yes. Any of you that know Monica know that she has the biggest heart in the world for Rotary. She literally can't stop talking about Rotary. And yes, she orchestrated a huge new event from scratch, and that is definitely her wheelhouse, to say the least. However, it goes far beyond that. Just to hear your love for Rotary, and whenever you were asked to chair even above and beyond, I just remember you calling me and you were crying on the phone. You go, "Becky, I'm so excited. They asked me to chair above and beyond. I am so humbled. Why do they think I can do this? You're always so humble and so gracious, and you're just a servant leader. And sometimes I don't even think you realize what you are to the club and to the community. But this time I wanted you to get the recognition. And so if you will come forward. I'm sorry, I had to hug. I couldn't help myself, you guys. All right, so, oops, I can do this now, so you can hear me. So, that is all. Congratulations, Monica, and I am so excited to see what President Paul does. I have loved working with you even as incoming president, and can't wait to see everything that you do this year. And so, as I always say, Rotarians, you are agents of change. Now go change the world, and I will hand it back to Mike. Oh, Mass, thank you.
Thank you, President Becky, and congratulations, Monica, there you are. Congratulations, well deserved, well deserved. So, we have a few gifts for you. You might need a small shopping cart, but we'll figure it out. First thing I want to present you is a gift from the club, the members of the club, as a small token of appreciation for all the hours that we know you spent developing your plan, working your plan, and getting ready for the weekly meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. The next is an award. And it's an award that you started. It's the Green Tabasco Award that you started at our July 31st meeting. You said that this is an award that recognizes leaders who are innovators, leaders who have new, fresh ideas, and leaders who are not afraid to question the status quo. Well, at that meeting, you recognized several Rotarians who came to you with new, innovative ideas. It was you who challenged us to be agents of change, and we appreciate that. So today, we recognize you with your very own Green Tabasco Agent of Change Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
As far as I know, you're the only winner of that right now. So. And finally, it's my honor to welcome you into the Past Presidents Club.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. And you need to know that you have served our club well. And we owe you a debt of gratitude for your year. It's been inspiring, it's been rewarding, it's been crazy, but you did a great job, so welcome. Here is your Past President's pin, the one thing you've been waiting for a long time. And here is your President's gavel. It comes in two pieces, so it's going to come off. There you go. That's all we have.
Thank you.
That's it. Your arms are full. Thank you very much. So now we are going to share a video of your year. So please join me in watching this video of Becky's very successful year. great year. Wasn't that fun to watch? That is awesome. And Tina, you are one amazing photographer. I mean, you do a great job of capturing the moment. Thank you very much. So now I would like to welcome to the podium past president and this year's board chair, Linda Bradshaw. Linda?
Thank you, Mike. Becky feels everything that has been said about you, the accolades. My dear lady, you have been extraordinary. And on behalf of our entire club, I want to thank you and express my appreciation. You are one wonderful president. Now past, and sometimes that's the best thing, is to be past. I am so honored this year to serve as chairman of the board. And our board recognizes the responsibilities and the challenges that are in front of us, challenges that we have never faced before. Please know, every one of you in our club, that we are going to provide the leadership that you will be proud of. We are going to be creative in our way of thinking. You know, we are going to get out of the box. We're going to find new and better ways to do things for our community and the world. And I am so confident that this club will be vigilant in the support of the leadership as we navigate through this pandemic, because together we can do it. And so now I would like to introduce to you the board members for 2021 leadership. David Wagner will be serving as our president-elect. Tiffany Egdorf, secretary-treasurer. Carl Vinson, and get ready for this guy, The Price is Right, sergeant-at-arms. Daniel Gomez, club service director. Karen McCannell, community service director. Jack McGlumphy, international service director. Chuck Wilson, in his favorite place, membership service director. Tricia Kirkstra, vocational service director. Matt Redmond, youth service director. And our directors at large are represented by John DeBar, Matthew Briscoe, Forrest Cameron, and of course, one of our very most important board members, long-range planned liaison, Tom Byers. And so now, as chairman of the board, it is my honor to introduce to you President of the Rotary Club of Tulsa for 2021. Paul C. Baumann joined this club in 2003 after attending a club meeting at the invitation of his good friend Jeff Johnson. Paul has served on various club committees over the years and most recently served as membership service director. He is a Paul Harris Fellow and Club Foundation Fellow, and some of his favorite Rotary memories are highlights stem from working with Rotarians, working together in the Tulsa community along with so many great business and community leaders. Paul is the senior vice president at Bank First and has served on various boards throughout Oklahoma during his 20-year banking career. He grew up here in Oklahoma and has lived and worked in the Tulsa area since graduating from Baylor University in 1996 with a business bachelor administration and a major in finance. Paul and his wife, Emily, of 17 years, have 3 children and are members at First Baptist Church here in Tulsa. Paul's hobbies include tennis, running, coin collecting, following the Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals. He loves traveling and spending time with his family. So we have a pretty active new president coming in this year. I am so proud now that Paul, the membership of the Rotary Club of Tulsa, has elected you to serve as president for this 2021 Rotary year. Our members have expressed their confidence that you possess the qualifications and abilities necessary to carry out the presidential responsibilities of this club. They also have confidence that you will continue the legacy of this Rotary Club of Tulsa that we have maintained in this community the district, and the Rotary world. So it is with great honor that I will administer to you the oath of office for the Rotary Club of Tulsa President. Please repeat after me. I
Paul Ballman,
do affirm that I will faithfully execute
do affirm that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the Rotary Club of Tulsa,
the office of the President of Rotary Club of Tulsa,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
give support and assistance
give support and assistance
to the District Governor and to the Rotary International,
to the District Governor and the Rotary International,
and that I will uphold the Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of Tulsa.
and that I will uphold the Constitution and the bylaws of the Rotary Club of Tulsa.
Rotarians, I am so proud to introduce to you now the 107th President of the Rotary Club of Tulsa. And at this time, past President Becky Fields will present Paul with his presidential pin and pass the gavel.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Past President Becky and Past President Linda. First, let me say it's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve as your club president for this year. I do want to thank Past President Becky and our Executive Director, Tina, and our Board Chair, Linda. Thank you for your help in these extraordinary times. The transition has been made much easier by the three of you, for sure. Thank you to our club leadership team, including the board. You've done a great job in helping me also during this transition time. And I want to assure you as a club and also as our leadership club or membership that the leadership team is not opting out, and we're not opting out this year as a Rotary Club for the Rotary year. But Sid will go ahead and start creating opportunities. We'll create opportunities for those in our community. We'll also create opportunities for those in our club. The Rotary International theme this year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen Covey. The number 6 highly effective habit is synergize. Synergize to me is a picture of Rotary, that we work together to increase our effectiveness as Rotarians. My vision of Rotary is putting aside our differences to make a greater impact in our community in Tulsa and also around the world. Like Linda mentioned, thinking outside the box during this extraordinary time, we're going to move forward and create new ways to engage our members. One of my hobbies, she mentioned, was running. I love to run, and as I run different races and different marathons, I see different signs along the way that are meant to inspire and really push people along to the finish line. One of the signs I see most prevalent is the sign that says, "Chuck Norris never ran a marathon." Well, Chuck Norris is a tough guy, and that makes me think, if Chuck Norris has never run a marathon and I can do it, that is something. Another running quote that sticks with me when I run is, "I didn't go out looking for hills when I started running, but when I come to a hill, I do run it." And it seems to me that during this pandemic, we as a Rotary Club didn't go out looking for this hill that's created by this pandemic, but together we can conquer this hill. Our various club committees continue to work together and work their agendas to create a great Rotary year. Our club startup committee works each week together, and most weeks we're meeting to talk about when's the exact time, the perfect time to get back together and start meeting in person again. And hopefully that time will be soon. Your club office and staff continue to work to engage with excellent virtual programs, and I please ask you to keep joining in our virtual programs. They're putting together, our program committee is putting together great programs, and I hate for anybody to miss those programs. John Wooden, the legendary UCLA basketball coach, when he joined us in 2004 at our IBO Awards, spoke to us, and he spoke great wisdom to us as a club that night. And I'd like to kind of remember those words and thoughts that he put out that night. And so I've asked for that video from 2004 of Coach Wooden to be played today.
As a person who received the Paul Harris Fellow a number of years ago, I have a feeling for the Rotary Club. And I think service above self, the motto, it's pretty hard to beat that. And the four-way test is pretty good too. The service above self, I was just thinking a little bit when I thought about that. I wonder if the Lakers had ever heard that. If not, it's about time. But the four-way test reminded me a little bit of something that my father gave me when I graduated from a small country grade school in Indiana. He gave me a card, and on one side was a verse and a creed on the other side. And he said, "Son, try to live up to these." That's all he said. I wish I could say I had, but I'm so imperfect that many times I've failed, but I have tried. The verse was by Reverend Henry Van Dyke, and it said, 4 things a man must learn to do if he would make his life more true. To think without confusion clearly, to love his fellow man sincerely, to act from honest motives purely, to trust in God and heaven securely. And those are something similar, I'd say, to the 4-point test that the Rotarians have, which I think is very good. And the other was the creed, and he said, try to live up to it. And when you think about these things, it'd be pretty nice if we could live up to them. Be true to yourself was the first one. Help others was the second one. Make friendship a fine art was the next. Don't take it for granted. Work at it. It's like marriage. It's two-sided. It's not one-sided. Drink deeply from good books. Drink deeply from good books. And there's so much out there. There's a lot out there that isn't so good, but there's a lot of good literature out there if we just look for it. Then the one that I used more than anything else in my teaching years, and that was make each day your masterpiece. Just try to do the best you can each day. Dad had said earlier, never try to be better than somebody else. Learn from others, because you'll never know a thing that you won't learn from somebody else in one way or another. But never cease trying to be the best you can be, because that's in your power and the others aren't. And if you get too engrossed and involved and concerned in regard to the things over which you have no control, it'll eventually have an adverse effect on the things over which you have control. The next one was build a shelter against a rainy day. And I don't think he was thinking of a material shelter. I think he was thinking of a more lasting shelter by the life we live. And the fourth was give thanks for your blessings and ask for guidance every day.
Thank you. Coach Wooden reminds us to strive to take our abilities and work together to make each day we can the best that we can with the talents and abilities we each possess. He said, my favorite quote of his, which is, make each day your masterpiece. And I'd like to try to adopt that as a club, as one of our mantras for this year, that we as a club would try to make each day our club masterpiece for Rotary, and put those days together into months, and those months into the year. So at the end of this year, we can look back and say, we did create another Rotary masterpiece this year. And I want to thank you each again for allowing me to serve as your club president this year. Thank you. I'll now turn it back over to past President Mike Homan. Mike?
Thank you, President Paul, and congratulations. We are fortunate to have you at the helm this year. You're going to do a great job. You're already doing a great job, so thank you very much. Earlier, we shared a video that fondly recalled moments from the past year of now past President Becky Fields. Back in April, I and several others were approached to participate in a Zoom call with Dateline NBC. I now admit, in hindsight, that I was probably not totally of sound mind due to some self-induced COVID safety precautions, which may have reduced the flow of oxygen to my brain. That, combined with the need for adult interaction, may have resulted in my lack of consideration that Dateline is indeed a ratings-driven program. I hadn't heard from Dateline for several months now, so earlier this week, I reached out to Dateline producer Lester Holt, and I asked if this was going to be a piece that we were going to be proud of as a club. He said, well, there hasn't been a murder in the club that he was aware of, so I should just relax. I asked, hey, can I take a look at this copy before this thing is aired live? He laughed and said, you need one of those cognitive tests. I said, no, really, I'd like to preview this thing before it goes on national TV. He said, no. I asked again. He said, no. Then he hung up. So earlier today, with some help from some friends, I pirated a copy of the video from Dateline. Now, full disclosure, I have not had a chance to preview this video, but hey, it's focused on Becky, so I'm sure it's an amazing testament to your work this past year. So ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the preview of Dateline Agent of Change.
Tonight, a very special Dateline. Rotarians are known worldwide for creating positive change, but in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a different kind of change has been quietly taking place. Becky Fields has held the title of president for the last 12 months. Smart, articulate, strong. If ever a woman seemed not a candidate for espionage, but then, who can ever know? When I decided to do this non-murder related expose, I was quarantined like the rest of the world, frustrated by my limitations and tired of counting flowers on the wall. Damn Statler brothers. I got a call that saved me from going Wuhan bat crazy. But I'm jumping ahead. With the help of this fascinating thing called Zoom technology, I was able to gather a variety of insiders to bring light to Becky Fields, this leader of the soon-to-be-exposed underground group, Agents of Change. Welcome to Dateline, folks. This modern technology brings us together. Topic: Rotary Tulsa President Becky Fields. Is she covertly brainwashing Rotarians to become members of this underground Agents of Change group? A metaphor or a manipulative plan that has wreaked havoc over the last 12 months? Ed Monette, I understand you have a laundry list of concerns that you feel are connected to Ms. Fields.
For the past 12 months, I have been working with individuals strategically placed in Eastern Asia, Northern Europe, North Korea, Kentucky, and China, not to be confused with your grandmothers. And we found that Becky Fields has connections to Russian hackers, the WHO, weather modification experts, green country weed research, and the Universal Sports Federation.
Ed, are you saying what I'm thinking?
I believe so. Becky Fields is responsible for 83,000 business permits in our state alone for selling weed. She came into office just as flooding hit an all-time high in our city and surrounding area last year. With her connections and assistance, she manipulated the political landscape that gave us the Trump-Pelosi show so no one would pay attention to the COVID-19. Non-essential, shelter and in, Tiger King, no baseball, no March Madness, no XFL, and you want me to believe David Wagner fell without any help. Come on!
Oh my, you're excitable. But I see Tina Miller, an advocate for Becky Fields, just shaking her head like the G.T. Bynum bobblehead I have on the dashboard of my 1965 Lincoln Continental.
This is absurd. I've known Becky Fields for years, and her desire to be an agent of change has nothing to do with the weird events going on here or anywhere. She is a wonderful person that has some fetishes that leak out.
This week, we'd like to spank.
How dare you do a cheap ratings jab? This is just a witch hunt.
Witch hunt? Me scared. Speaking of sorcery, I turned to Tana Scott. Tell me about Becky Fields and the bad incident.
First of all, I'm offended. I mean, just because you can't come up with something clever as a segue, somehow that results in you implying that I'm a witch? It's just ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about it.
Ooh, you're an angry witch. So, you and Becky spent some time in Wuhan late last year?
So around Halloween, on a trip home, we got diverted from South Detroit. It's a long story. It was a long flight. Listen, she was dressed like Batgirl. I was dressed like Batman. I don't know how I drew the short straw, but there we were, eating bad sushi shaped like a bat. We were told it was sushi.
The most rewarding part of these shows are when I get the money. So let's turn to Everyman, Tim Colwell.
Hi. Okay, I've got 3 points to make. Number one, my grandparents, your great-grandparents, went off to war and they did their part, and your job, kids, is to sit on your butt in your home and be safe. That's your job.
And number two?
Honey, I'm out of toilet paper. Out of toilet paper. Toilet paper.
Oh my. Could Becky Fields have caused the run on toilet paper? I mean, a lot of people want to change the world, but maybe they really should start by changing the role. Which leads me to Mike Holman.
All I can say as past president is stay inside, isolate, and practice social distancing. Basically, become like a house cat. Wise advice.
This week, we'd like to spank.
Why are you wearing a hazmat suit in your own house?
Hey, I bought it. I own it. Shut! Excuse me, allergies. And I wear it. As far as this
Becky Fields conspiracy? I really have no idea who Becky Fields is. Wait, Mrs. Fields cookies. I love those. Macadamia nibblers. President Holman? So,
Normally, I'm solving murders, but tonight we see that the only murder was most likely the innocence of positivity and one Becky Fields. Being agents of change, quite the concept. Far more easily obtained than espionage that brings about world manipulation. Or is it? That's all for Dateline, Agents of Change. Good night.
This week, we'd like to spank